Hey everybody, so I just went on a rant about how I hate offsides challenges and don't think that they should be allowed to look at that and use replay because it's a waste of time and the calls are over some, couple of inches every time and it's just stupid. Well, there is something that I think that they should be allowed to use replay for, and they currently are not allowed to, and that is high sticking. Now, it would only be allowed in very specific situations to make it not a waste of time. But high sticking needs to be something that the referees can look at on video and make sure that they got the call right. Now, there would be very strict parameters for this. One, they would not be able to look at missed calls. So if somebody gets high sticked and nobody sees it, the ref misses it, then you cannot go back and call a penalty after the fact. This would only be allowed on penalty calls that the ref makes. So if the ref calls somebody for high sticking, that would be the first thing. It would have to meet that requirement to be a potentially reviewable play. Second, the review would have to come from the off-ice official, whoever represents the NHL. It would not be a coach's challenge thing. It would come directly from the league. The NHL would buzz down to the timekeeper or whoever between the penalty boxes, and then they would notify the ref that something needs to be looked at. Then the ref would look at the play and see if there was an actual high sticking infraction or not. Now the reason for this, and then obviously the ref would be able to take the penalty away if it's looked at on replay and it's determined that the player was either not hit with a stick or it was not the opposing player's stick that hit him. Now the reason that I would like to see this is because I have seen way too many instances recently where the player doesn't get hit at all and just snaps his head back or puts his hand up like he got hit and the ref's calling penalties even though he didn't actually get hit, and players getting hit with teammate sticks or the puck or their own stick and the ref calling a penalty just because someone on the opposing team was there and it looked like it may have been his stick. I've wanted high sticking penalty calls to be reviewable for a while now, but I've just noticed a lot recently where it's like you've got to be able to look at that. There are way too many players now snapping their heads back when they're not even actually getting hit, or their initial reaction to everything is to just throw their hand up to their face and try and draw a penalty call. And it's working, and it's not really the ref's fault. I'm not trying to rag on the refs here because hockey is a fast-paced game. You have a lot going on at once. If you're a referee, you're watching 10 different players at some points, all moving around constantly, and you might see out of the corner of your eye somebody just snap their head back, and then the opposing player's there with his stick up in the air, and you're thinking, okay, that must be high sticking, and you call the penalty. It's like, that's not the ref's fault. They're not going to be able to see everything. They're going to miss some. But there's just been way too many times recently that I've noticed, even going back to the playoffs last year, where players either get hit with their own sticks. There'll be two players battling along the wall, and both guys' sticks will come up, and it will be the player's own stick that hits him in the nose. And then next thing you know, his nose starts bleeding. You've got a 4-minute penalty to the other team, and he didn't even high stick the guy. That can't happen. So, I just think that it needs to be something that they are allowed to look at. And obviously you don't want it out of control. You don't want replays on every high sticking call. You don't want, a lot of wasted time and interrupting the flow of the game. But I think having it so that if a penalty is called and the NHL, review guys can look at it and see that it is a blatantly wrong call. Like, you guys missed this one. He should be able to buzz down and go to the, tell the ref, like, hey, this needs to be looked at again, and then the referees will look at the replay, and if they look at the replay and go, oh, yeah, that wasn't actually the opponent's stick that hit him, it was his teammate's stick, we messed that up, no penalty, and then you can get it right. Or that's his own stick that hit him, no penalty, there's no call there. Or even better would be, wow, that guy didn't get hit at all, but he snapped his head back. You in the box for high sticking, there's no penalty, you can go. You who faked it, get in the box 2 minutes for diving and embellishment. That would be fantastic, to get these guys who are faking getting hit, getting diving and embellishment penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct, because that would put an end to it real quick. And especially if they could go back and look at the replay and say, oh, you know what? You actually faked that. We caught you. Get in the box. That would be fantastic. So, again, it wouldn't be something that you would see all that often. I would just like the off-ice officials and the on-ice officials to have the ability, if a penalty is called, to go and say, hey, we got to look at this. Maybe we got this wrong. It would be like the NFL in touchdowns. Touchdowns are automatically reviewed by the NFL. It doesn't interrupt the game, really, because it's not the on-field officials who are doing it. It's the off-field officials who review it, and then they buzz down if there's any question as to if it was actually a touchdown or not. That is what I would want with these these reviews, the high sticking call reviews. The off-ice official would look at it, someone representing the NHL would look at it and then be like, hey, this is not actually high sticking, and they would buzz down. The on-ice referees would not be able to initiate the challenge, or the review, sorry. They would not be able to go, hey, I'm not sure about that, can we go look at it? No. It's only going to be looked at, A, if you make the penalty call. Missed calls are not, you'd be there all night if missed calls were reviewable. Only if you made the penalty call, and then if the off-ice official looks at the replay and it is blatantly obvious that there was no actual high sticking that occurred, then they can buzz down and make the right call and change it. But that is one place that I think the NHL needs review, and the game would be a lot better if they could review that. The offsides challenges I can't stand. It's over a fraction of an inch. But the penalty calls, you cannot be calling penalties and making a team shorthanded, sometimes for 4 minutes, when they actually didn't do anything and it wasn't even his stick that caused the injury. So I would like to see that reviewable. So let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support Off the Wall Hockey, our Patreon link is also down in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.